Thank you, the incredible President Herzog. We have one more piece of business tonight. One more piece of business before you leave. Today is November 11th. It is Veterans Day in the United States. So this day was originally known as Armistice Day. And though World War I didn't officially end until months later, the guns of Europe fell silent in 1918 on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, November 11th, 1918. And it was on November 11th, 1919, 1 year later, that President Woodrow Wilson declared the first Armistice Day to be observed by parades and public meetings and a national pause in business at 11 a.m. It wasn't until 1954, after the experience of both World War II and the Korean War, that Congress and the President changed the name to Veterans Day to recognize the veterans of all who had served America in uniform. My father, Samuel Fingerhut, served in World War II, and my father-in-law, Sid Arthur, served in Korea, where he was wounded in action. They're both gone now. My father is buried in the Jewish War Veterans section of the Zion Memorial Cemetery in Cleveland, and Amy's father is buried at Arlington National Cemetery, each of their wives lying beside them now. Their experience of service surely impacts who I am and how I think. But our fathers are but two of the countless millions of American Jews who have proudly worn the uniform of the United States. And so I'm pleased to acknowledge Commander Charles Miller, retired United States Navy officer of the Jewish War Veterans Post 6792. Thank you for your service, sir. You know, World War I lasted over 4 years, from 1914 to 1918. World War II lasted 6 years, from 1939 to 1945. The Korean War, 3 years, 1950 to 1953. The Vietnam War, depending how you count, lasted nearly 20 years. To my father and my father-in-law and their generation, wars that lasted just 6 days, as Israel's triumph in 67 did, or 19 days, as the Yom Kippur War did in 73, these were the exceptions to wars that were long and grueling. Perhaps this is why we struggle with how best to lead our community at this moment. The war in Israel, as we know, is over a year old, while the war in Ukraine is over 2.5 years old. We hope that both will end soon, but for now they are raging as fiercely as the day they began. We have responded to both emergencies magnificently, overwhelmingly, but how long can the situation still be called an emergency? How can we maintain the support for these extraordinary needs while not neglecting, indeed while investing in the needs and opportunities of our community? That is why we are here together at this important General Assembly. I've been listening in the featured sessions and in the hallways. We've tried to bring as many experts as possible to speak with us, but ultimately, it is the conversations among ourselves that chart our course. Continue to listen to as many voices as you can. Close your ears to no one. I promise I will do the same. When the messenger who was sent to curse Israel looked out over our encampments and our fortifications, what today we call our communities, he instead blessed them with the words, Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. How goodly are your communities, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. And so I bless you in these same words. How beautiful are the communities you have built, O descendants of Jacob, in every major city and small hamlet from Atlantic to the Pacific and north to south. May our prayer be favorable at this time. May this General Assembly be a favorable time for all our important discussions and decisions. Happy Veterans Day. To all veterans present, we thank you for your service. Enjoy your evening.
על הרבש ועל העוקץ, על המר והמתוק, על ביתנו התינוקת שמורי לי הטוב, על האש המבוערת, על